Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to the stream. I'm Ryunosuke, and today we are playing the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. I know, it's weird, we're on a Thursday, not a Friday! I'm being silly. It's not like I haven't had the schedule up for like, what, since... Did I get it up Saturday or Sunday? I don't remember, but it's been the last weekend. It's been a few days. Point being, it's been a few days. Anyway. We are starting episode 9 today on the Great Ace Attorney. Yeah, there's the episode name. It's episode 4 of Resolve, as you can kind of see that it says Great Ace Attorney 2 Resolve up in the little corner of the little save file. So we have Twisted Karma and his last bow. What a fun name, huh? That's like, that's what exactly you want to hear. Twisted Karma. You're like, oh, we're in for a bad time, aren't we? I'm like, I know, right? Okay. I like the title screen music. Okay. Stop getting distracted by the music. How does this start? Ooh. Well, that's really ominous. Oh, here we go.
Pipe in hand, Sholmes looked down at the thick, rolling fog outside our window. I wonder exactly how many mysteries are out there, hidden within this bed of fog, he said. Indeed, a most bizarre incident, born of a curious advertisement. A hellhound's mad gallop through the shadows of a serial murder, an executed man's graveyard resurrection in the dead of night. And a commonplace killing in a small, forgotten room at the edge of town. There is, naturally, always another side to every case, of which most remain ignorant. And it is that other side which compels me to the scene of the crime, Wilson. So quickly now, take your hat and let's be on our way, my dear fellow. For our adventure is not over yet. Come, the game is afoot.
Indeed it is. Yeah. We're in for a good time. Oh yeah. Major spoilers right away. Cosmo's alive. You only played up till chapter 2. Okay, anyway, moving on. I wonder how many people ended up jumping into like the end of streams like this and got spoiled like by that and been like, what? I have to be curious about it. Anyway. This is probably Ryunosuke speaking. 8 days after that earth-shattering trial, and Kazuma regaining his memory. We were in the foyer of one of London's most luxurious hotels, the Great Waterloo Hotel. Waterloo, that's an actual place. 1st November. Oh, it's November now. No longer October. I guess that checks out. These say 8 days and it's like the end of October, the last trial. That's a lot of flowers. That's a big vase of flowers in the background. Okay. Professor Mikotoba is due to arrive at any moment. Yes, and I'm so glad we're here in time. Oh, why are you sad? Susato-san hasn't been the same since what happened. Not that I'm surprised. The truth about Kazuma-sama's father. Yeah, he's a serial killer? Yeah, ouch. Do you suppose my father knew? You can find out, and if he refuses to tell you, you can flip him over your shoulder like you usually do with people who aggravate you. Even though lately your target's been poor Ryunosuke, even though he doesn't deserve it most of the time. That he was actually the mass murderer, the professor, you mean? I knew that's what she was thinking about. There's a good chance, I'd say. I mean, they did come here to London together 16 years ago, didn't they? Yes, that's true. Come to think of it, didn't you say that Professor Mikotoba knew about Kazuma going missing in Hong Kong as well? That's right, but for some reason, he wasn't at liberty to talk to me about it. Probably means he knows that. But Kazuma is showing up here in London with amnesia, and that he's regained his memory now. Ah, there she is! Ah, it's Mikotoba, he's in a suit! I guess that's not too surprising. He's in London, he's not in Japan anymore. There's another dude with him. Oh, father! Hello, Susato. How are you? I'm very well, thank you. We're delighted you've arrived safe and sound. You know, sometimes the music just makes me think of Professor Layton. Like right now, this really feels like Professor Layton. And hold on, I think I need to do something in the background. Oh, wait, actually, I'm gonna do one more thing. Things that are just gonna be a bit funky, maybe. There we go. Okay, hopefully that'll help. And I was like, help what? I'm like, if you didn't notice this, shh, go along with it. Hello, Mr. Naruhodo. Very kind of you to take the trouble to meet us here. Oh, no, not at all. It's my pleasure. I heard all about your extraordinary exploits here in London, you know. The news has crossed the seas. It has? I always look forward to reading the monthly reports that arrive with the steamships from Britain. Oh, I see. Well, thank you very much. Who is this man? And why do I feel as though I've seen him before? He's the judge, Ryunosuke. It's been a hot minute since you've seen him. I take it from your expression you can't quite place me. In that case, how about a little reminder, Shishiro? A firm tap should do it. Yes. Tap? What? He's so confused. Here we go then. I hereby pronounce the defendant Ryunosuke Naruhodo guilty. Ah! Oh! You're... Well, I didn't have to be guilty. Yeah, he's a judge. You didn't recognize that beard? Flashback to the very first episode of the series. Court will now hear the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Yeah, he's in normal clothes, which I think this is the first time in the series we've ever seen a judge, like, in non-judge clothes, whatever you would call them. Out of the judge robes? Out of the robes. I guess out of the robes works. Whatever. Moving on. Your Excellency! Hello, Judge Shijoku. How are you? It's been a long time. Good. You remembered now. That really did the trick. Guilty! Only I was declared not guilty, wasn't I? And there was no laughing at the time. So, London again after all this time. Hard to believe it's been 10 years. To be honest, I never thought I'd be back. Neither did I. I didn't imagine Japan would ever be invited to an international symposium like this. Though really, I doubt anyone did, to be honest. It's all thanks to you, isn't it, Shishiro? What are you talking about, Eugen? Of course, just Jijoku. He must complete the set. He saw the man who 16 years ago came to London with Kazuma's father and Professor Mikotoba. He's the third visiting scholar. I just realized there's little teardrop gems on the chandelier. I almost called it a calendar. Why am I like this? Okay. Well, all those passport checks and luggage searches at the border took a lot of time. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministratal, like ministratal? Gosh. I must say, I'm very envious of your ministratal status. You didn't have to go through any of that, did you? Ah, I knew you were jealous. Sorry? Ministratal status? Yes, didn't you know? Shishiro here is also Japan's Minister of Foreign Affairs. It was his personal assistance. Wait, yeah. Personal assistance? Okay. It was his personal assistance that allowed you to take Kazuma's place here on the study tour. Guilty as charged! Oh, well, thank you very much. He's really every bit as important as he looks. Ah, yes now, Naruhodo. I received a telegram from Lord Strongheart yesterday. Oh, did you? It appears that some things came to light in a trial you were involved with 8 days ago. About what happened 10 years ago. That tragedy. You don't say. Yes. Could you tell us any more about it? Oop. Talking time. Yay. Your journey from Japan. For a pleasant 3,000 way. And then we can get onto Kazuma's father. I don't remember if they said his name, but his name is Genshin, which is funny. Because I'm sure a lot of people are like Genshin Impact? I'm like, I'm not sure. It's probably written differently, I'd guess. Because I think Genshin translates to, like, something to do with, like, kami, so, like, a god. So, like, or a god rising, something like that. Something to do with the divine beings. I remember that much, but I'm like, I don't know if that's how his name's written. It sounds the same, though. So, phonetically the same. Maybe not. It's Japan. Japanese. They have a lot of similar sounding things. Like, I mean, kami itself can mean 3 things. It can mean hair, it can mean a god, or it can mean paper. So I'm like, yeah, it's Japanese. Just because it sounds the same doesn't mean it is the same. Anyway, moving on. Like, it's not that important if I tell. They're probably gonna say his name pretty soon if they didn't previously, and I'm like, honestly, I don't remember. Anyway, your journey from Japan. So, how was the voyage here? Well, 50 days at sea is a long time by anyone's standards. But it wasn't as bad as when we first came 16 years ago. No, that's true. Then I truly wondered if we wouldn't be drifting in a vast ocean for the rest of our lives. Oh wait, then I truly wondered. This time, we followed the same route as you, so we were able to relax and enjoy the experience. Ah, so you stopped in France's beautiful capital, Paris. We did, yes. But only for one night. And yesterday evening, we left the port of Dunkirk for Dover. Just in time for the symposium, in fact. It starts tomorrow. It's wonderful that you were invited to attend such an important international event. I'm very proud of you, Father. Thanks to Seshiro here. 16 years ago, he managed to integrate himself with Britain's Attorney General. I'm sure that's why he was invited. And I suppose you could say I'm something of an appendage by default. Speak for yourself, Yujin. You were close friends with a professor of forensic science at a major hospital. Yes, well, I'd rather not dredge all that up. Really. No. There's been a lot of water on the bridge since then, but it doesn't bring him back. Kazuma's father, I suppose. About that, Kazuma's dad. That's his father. The professor, the killer who took the lives of 5 members of the British aristocracy, was actually Kazuma's father, wasn't he? That's correct. Genshin Nosogi. Genshin. You knew, I presume, Father? Oh, he is actually talking. That's a rarity, it feels like. Yes, he was a close friend at the time. Genshin came to Britain as a police detective. Oh, police detective. That's cool. He was studying investigative techniques at Scotland Yard. I've never understood what drove the man to commit such heinous acts. It was a closed trial, so the public never knew the truth, and he was executed with little ado. To this day, very few people know what really happened, even in our homeland. But what about Kazuma? Did he know? Did he know the truth about his father? Oh, no, of course not. He was told his father passed from sickness. However, I suspect he may have had his doubts. Oh, why? As you know, I tried to guide Kazuma growing up, as if he were my own son. Your kid's a menace! I mean, really, we can't go a single trial that Kazuma shows up in without him breaking something at the end. He broke the little hairband on Aochi for the prosecutor from the first trial, and this time he cut into Madame Truespell's wax figure. And I'm like, Kazuma, you're an absolute menace, you know that? I'm sorry, I just have to laugh because I'm like, I like him. He's definitely one of my favorite characters from The Great Ace Attorney. But at the same time, he's an absolute gremlin of a man. Moving on. And one day, he came to my office at the university and said, I've decided. I want to travel to Great Britain and study there. There's way too many guys in this. It's hard for me to do a bunch of voices. I hope people are able to distinguish them well enough. Ah! Do you think he wanted to come here to investigate his father's death? I don't know. When I looked into his eyes, I did know that there was no way I'd be able to stop him. He is very hard to stop. Something else came to light in that trial the other day, actually. Oh? What? Well, having disappeared in Hong Kong and been missing for almost a year, Kazuma since turned up here in London, working as an apprentice of Lord Van Zeek's. What? What? That's news to us! So, Lord Strongheart's telegram neglected to mention that part then. Yeah, Cosmo's freaking alive. Surprise! As you know, we both thought Cosmo had died on the steamship during our voyage to Great Britain in January. But he didn't die. He's alive. As you knew, didn't you, Father? In actual fact, no. What I did know is that when your ship docked in Hong Kong, he mysteriously vanished. He sent a team of investigators to Hong Kong to try to ascertain what had happened, but to no avail. But he's still alive. And here, in London, you say? Never dared to even dream it. Why on earth did the young man not make contact? The government and the police have been chasing clues fruitlessly for months now. Well, it seems he was suffering from amnesia. What? Amnesia? When we first came across him again here in London, he didn't know who either of us were. Yeah, until he saw his dad's face. And he broke the darn waxwork! Again, gremlin. I see. He only regained his memory 8 days ago. This is unbelievable. Yes, it's quite miraculous. I wonder why Lord Strongheart didn't let us know. 'Cause he's a sleaze! And I will stand by that. I took one look at him on the front cover with his back toward the audience and his arms raised like a megalomaniac and went, bad guy. I haven't been proven wrong. The guy just like screams every stereotype of bad guy. I mean, seriously, slap him in a children's Saturday cartoon and it's just like, guess who the villain of the main villain is? I mean, seriously. It's not rocket science. I must speak with him urgently. I wonder how Kazuma's been these past few days. Probably not good. That's my guess. I don't know. Would it be wrong of us to go and visit him? Man. Nope, your time in Britain. That began 16 years ago now. It's a distinct memory, really. It was Yujin here, Genshin Asogi, and myself. We were the original 3. Oh, we have 3 now. We have Ryunosuke, Susato, and Kazuma. Even though Kazuma's late. I don't know why I'm picking on Kazuma today, but I am. Okay. The first judicial scholars from Japan to travel overseas to study. Ocean voyages were not what they are today, I can tell you. 16 years ago. Things were tough for their generation. Your father was an exceptionally fine medical student at Yume University at the time, you know, young lady. Yes, grandmother told me. He went to do research at a great London hospital to study autopsy. Practically unheard of in Japan. Oh yeah, they always do postmortems, but not autopsy. Yes, it was an eerie place, sandwiched between the back of a prison and a burial ground. Ugh. No more talk of graves. Very often, there's no one willing to deal with bodies following autopsy work. So you see, autopsy labs have something of an unavoidable relationship with graveyards and prisons. Not my cup of tea at all. Ryunosuke's like, can we change the subject, please? Do you remember that Scottish prison governor? Caden, his name was. He was a good man. Yes, and of course, in our 6th year here, everything changed with that dreadful case. When Genshin was arrested for a series of the most gruesome murderers. Simply couldn't believe it. I'd known the man for years. I was a witness at the secret hearing, and I tried to speak in his defense, but you went a little too far and ended up facing charges yourself, didn't you? Well, suffice to say that after that trial, we were sent back to Japan. There's nothing more we could do to save Genshin. It was a lost cause, sadly. Oh, Susato's crying now! Yo! That's the end of that conversation. Well, you excuse us now. Yes. I'd like to get this trunk up to my room as soon as possible. Oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have held you up here for so long. I'll call the porter then. Just wait here. Off she goes. Susato-san's gone off at a run. I'd like to stay and talk more, but I do have various preparations to make for tomorrow. Yes, of course. It must be a big responsibility, representing our entire country. I wish you the best of luck. Naruhodo. Oh, he's turned fully to face us. I hope you'll keep an eye on Susato for me. Keep looking after her, as you obviously have been. Oh, no. I mean, if anyone's looking after anyone, it's her looking after me. Well, I do appreciate you being there for her, after all. I've been a miserable father to her. I've thoroughly let her down. Sorry, what do you mean? She was born and then he left for London. You know this, Ryunosuke. Come on, you're the lawyer. Piece it together, man. You could have done better. Well, it was 16 years ago that I started my long study tour here in Britain, as you know. The very year Susato was born. Yes, I heard. I couldn't piece it together, Ryunosuke. The birth of my daughter was the most joyous event of my life, but... well, sadly it was accompanied by the most tragic event of my life, too. Oh, yes, Susato-san hinted at something like that. It was a rather turbulent time at home. How so? He's stuck us out. Stop baiting us! Anyway, I won't bore you with the details. The point is, I became rather less dependable than befits a grown man. And it was then that Seshiro offered me the opportunity to study here in Great Britain. I was too worried about you to leave you behind. So perhaps I was a little heavy-handed when it came to persuading you to accompany me to London. So, that's what happened in a nutshell. And that's also the reason why I now feel compelled to give my daughter as many opportunities as I dare. Though the world does not readily afford young women such things, I must say. I completely understand, Professor. Yeah, she said to pretend to be Ryunosuke's cousin. It was Ryutaro. Ah, one more thing, Naruhodo. If I may be so bold, I have a favor to ask you. Oh, really? Of course. What can I do for you? Well, the thing is, I'm so sorry that took so long. Miss Susato. Why did you... Wait. Wasn't that... Weren't you the guy who was in charge of the cabbie people? Why are you here? Miss Susato. Now then, allow us to take your bags. Allow me to take your bags. One moment, if you please, porter. Of course, sir. The machine around your neck. It's a camera, I believe. Quite right, sir. Just 5 shillings for a lovely photograph to commemorate a wonderful stay at the hotel, sir. Well, I think given the occasion, we could justify the expense. Ah, yes, yes, of course. It's a picture. Ryunosuke doesn't, it looks like he's stiff as a board. I'd like to thank you for coming with me, Mr. Naruhodo. It's really made Father very happy, I think. Oh, well, I'm pleased then. But we were interrupted before. Professor Mikotoba was about to ask me something. Shall we return to Baker Street, then? I expect Iris will have some delicious tea waiting for us. Now I want tea. I guess I know what I'm going to have after the stream. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Okay. I'm getting more and more anxious about Kazuma, though. Perhaps I'll try to meet with Lord Strongheart later and ask after him. Okay. We want to go right away. Oh, hi. Chief's Justice. Can we go there? Yeah, we can. Is the guy even— oh, hi. Van Zeeks! You! Sappy Grumpy Man! As we found out last time, man's a grump, but he's also a sap. Just not towards very many people. Here's the final draft of the opening address for tomorrow's proceedings. It supplemented your original with the figures you asked for from the yard. I see. Excellent work. Thank you. You're welcome, my lord. What's Lord Van Zeeks doing here? My, they seem to be having an awful lot of— wait. My, there seems to be an awful lot of tension in the air, wouldn't you say? Well, they do have a big event tomorrow. This place is stifling enough as it is. We really don't need any more tension. Hi. My apologies. I didn't notice you come in. Your small stature and dark dress made you all but invisible to me. You are so rude. You know that, right? Oh, no, it's entirely my fault for wearing black, I'm sure. From now on, you must dress in white from head to toe whenever you come here. Now then, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes, my lord. I'm right here. Is anyone going to speak? Kill me now. Is something wrong? Perhaps it's a little too hot in here for you. Ryunosuke's setting up a stair alarm, apparently. Oh, no, not at all. I mean, I've never experienced a room at such a perfect temperature. If you're sure, the beads of sweat carving their way down your face seem to suggest otherwise. Because of the daggers you're staring at me with, mainly. As you no doubt aware, my International Forensic Science Symposium begins tomorrow. In fact, your father arrived in London earlier today, I hear, madame. Oh, yes, that's right, my lord. He's extremely honored to have been invited. Oh, hi, Van Zeeks. I'll leave the remaining preparations for the meeting room. In your capable hands, then, Lord Van Zeeks. We'll attend at once. Bye. I guess a pointed look at Ryunosuke. He gave you a very cold stare as he left, didn't he? I know, but I haven't done anything. Have I? These past few days, my feet have barely touched the ground, I must say. My dedicated right hand of many years was recently put out of action in spectacular fashion. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Is your left hand still of service? Mr. Naruhodo, he's talking about Dr. Synth. Ah, of course. Did he think it was his actual hand? Did Ryunosuke just go, are you ambidextrous? That's Ryunosuke on the head. I'm terribly sorry about that. I was just, Fear not. You've done nothing wrong. Dr. Synth's own wrongdoing precipitated? Precipitated? I don't know what that means. Okay, whatever. Dr. Synth's own wrongdoing precipitated the situation. You needn't concern yourself with it any further. That would be a lot easier to do if it weren't for the piercing stare you're giving me. Lord Van Zeeks is doing an admirable job of holding the fort. Though disturbingly, his apprentice has been missing since yesterday. Oh, missing? What's become of Kazuma-sama now? Yep. This man has a really good knack of just disappearing, don't he? Forensic Science Symposium. Just go down the list. Not long ago, visitor numbers to the Great Exposition exceeded 30 million. 30 million? Are there even that many people in the world? Yes? Ryunosuke, there's like 8 billion now. This is 100 years ago. Admittedly, the numbers like skyrocketed. Modern technology and all that. Yada, 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 yada. Boring stuff that I don't really know about. Okay, well, not boring, but... As a comparison, Mr. Naruhodo, the population of the imperial capital, Tokyo, is 2 million. We'll be opening the International Forensic Science Symposium in the exhibition's main auditorium. This event has been 2 years in the making. 2 years of preparations and negotiations with other countries. It sounds like a tremendous achievement. Congratulations. The 20th century will see the wholesale adoption of forensic investigation techniques. And cooperation between policing organizations around the globe will be essential. Then there... Anyway. Which is why... this landmark first symposium had to be hosted here at the heart of our great British Empire. In order that Scotland Yard can become the leading investigative organization in the New World. It's the same as ever, I see. A passion of his is quite something. You're every bit as passionate in your own way, I'm sure, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm the only person in this country who truly cares about a future that embraces forensic science. It was my intention to become Her Majesty's Attorney General and reform the Yard from the ground up. So the disgrace of the forensic investigation team has been a bitter blow to my ambitions. I'm not sorry. I'm terrible. I first established the forensic investigation team a year ago, experimentally to start with. With Dr. Sith at the helm, it was steadily accruing an impressive record of achievement. It was on the verge of changing its name and elevating its status to a full-blown forensic investigation department. And can you not do that now? Obviously. No one wants to hear anything about it at the moment. Even I can't keep the story out of the papers. 6 million Londoners will be cursing forensic science now. This incident will set back our country's advancement in the field by a good 10 years, I'd say. And then, unintended repercussions of our trial. We simply couldn't have overlooked what had happened, though. Of course not. We should all be grateful to you both. Anyway, I'll still reform this country's policing when I become Attorney General. This might delay my plans, but it won't alter them. Nothing will stand in my way. Scary, determined man. Missing apprentice. Where the heck is Kazuma? Above Lord Van Zeeks' apprentice. Ah, yes. It came as a surprise to me, I must say, that you and he are old friends. How did he become an apprentice to Lord Van Zeeks in the first place? It came about 3 months ago. An unidentified Asian man was apprehended by border police. They found him hiding aboard a large goods vessel.
Oh my. So he stowed away to get here.
He had no papers to identify him, no passport, and he was suffering from amnesia too. Other than the fact he was clearly of Eastern descent, there were no clues to who he was. So I decided to assign him to Lord Van Zeeks. That way I could keep an eye on him.
But then, why the mask?
I didn't want to burden Lord Van Zeeks with tiresome explanations about why he had an Eastern apprentice.
Because it would be so much easier to explain why he was wearing a mask?
Assassin. He's proving to be a great help to Lord Van Zeeks. I have high hopes for his future.
By the way, do you know where he's gone?
No idea. But I believe he's left London for the time being.
Oh.
I take it you also didn't know that the man's father was one of our country's most infamous criminals, I mean.
Ryunosuke.
Yep, Cosimo's father's crimes. A lot of... Every one of those ends with an S.
What we learned from that trial 8 days ago was a huge shock. Finding out my friend's father was...
Ah yes, Genshin Asogi. The professor case 10 years ago caused a great stir here in Britain.
There were such awful murders, and unprecedented, using a ferocious dog as a murder weapon.
And no one would have believed the culprit was a foreign student invited to study here by the government. So the true identity of the killer couldn't be made public then, and can't be made public now. Nobody in your country knows it was him, and neither do the citizens of London.
The main motive was to avoid aggravating relations between our two nations at the time, I understand.
Correct. However, it has to be noted that there were some supporters of the professor's apparent cause.
What? Supporters of a mass murderer?
The majority of the man's victims were a blight on the aristocracy of the day. Somewhat ironically, their deaths actually benefited society as a whole. Or so a few thinkers in London believed, anyway.
Right, I see. But it was still murder, wasn't it?
I was thinking about it too.
It seems very similar, doesn't it? To the idea of the Reaper of the Bailey.
Cat got your tongue, Strongheart. I almost called him Van Zeeks. Oops. Oh, is that all we have to say? Yeah, I don't have anything to show him. We can- oh, what was the other place we could go? Is Van Zeek still around? Okay. Okay. Don't think so. Yeah, alright, maybe we'll have to come back. I'm kind of surprised. Usually when you talk to Strongheart, you ask him all the questions and then he leaves or tells you to leave and then you can't come back, or if you do try to come back, he's not there. Huh. Okay, where did we want to go? Well, not the hotel. Okay, well, the only place to go back is the suite, but okay. Oh, right, they were talking about Iris's tea, so yeah, going back to our Iris's. Gotta get tea. Plums is sweet. There's the mask. I immediately zoned in on that. What is that sound?
What was that? A man screaming in a most unflattering way. Do you think... Could it have been Mr. Schnomes? Oh my, I do hope not.
Me think it's that person. Ooh, I don't do it anymore.
Mon ami, mon ami. Stop this disgraceful display. Who are these people? Look at their hair. It's bright red. I think they must be clients of Mr. Schlome's.
Gina?
Right, you two. You're coming with me now. Down to the clink.
No, not in prison. It's dark and damp and I don't like it.
Oof. The darkness is my friend. I am not scared.
You're always scared of the dark.
Shut your mouth, idiot. I will sit quietly in the dark and plan our next daring night.
Whee! Okay, you know, I'm gonna stop doing that. I don't like this. I don't like it. It's like literally a big baby.
Well, tough. We'll finish this down the yard. Now get moving.
Get him, Tina.
Bye then, Ginny.
Bye then, Ginny. Have fun. Hi, Iris. Okay, now they're both crying.
Oh yeah, thanks, Iris. And thanks, you great detective. Gina makes a fine detective herself, doesn't she?
Oh, Susie! And Bruno!
Hello, Iris. We're home.
Well, did you find your daddy?
Yes. We arrived at the hotel just before he and his friend.
Oh, well that's great news.
Hope I get to see my daddy again soon. Ah, yes, of course.
Your dad's dead. I know that's mean, but it's the truth.
John H. Wilson.
So, Iris, all that remains now is the greatest problems known to man. Why is your hair red? But before we concern ourselves with that, I believe some tea is in order. Don't you, my dear fellow? Don't you, my dear fellows?
Why is your hair red?
I think Ryunosuke and Susato are thinking of the same thing. Is something wrong, Mr. Naruhodo? Do I have a crumb or such like on my face? I think it's more than a crumb.
Not so much on your face. It's on your head, I'd say. Come along then, everyone. I've brewed a lovely special blend. Time for tea!
Iris is so cute. Excuse me.
Whatever is going on here today?
In that case, let's sit down and drink now. For I am, in fact, expecting a guest later today. Get Dr. Sloan, yes we do. Why is your hair red? I mean, that doesn't look too bad, does it? Bendy blonde or, like, fire engine red. I just kind of realized his hair is like a bit brighter than even Axel's hair from Kingdom Hearts. Well, Kingdom Hearts, the series. With that, he shows up in a few things. Or Lee, as that whole thing goes. I'm not getting into that. I'm not getting into that. That's a different game series. Moving on. Okay, your two visitors. Yeah, who were the other redheads? Does it have something to do with your red hair?
Mr. Schlomes. Who were the two gentlemen that were here before?
Oh, just a pair of petty criminals. Nothing of significance. Of course, they have to make a living somehow. And when the mood takes me, I'm willing to turn a blind eye to all manner of infractions.
When the mood takes you? All manner of infractions?
But when such fellows set their sights on Mr. Herlock Schlomes, well, that's when their luck runs out.
Oh my, you were the target of a crime, Mr. Shlomes.
But I quickly devised a plan to entrap them and deliver them to our young detective ally. Gina.
You should have asked Brexley to come too. We could have had an arresting tea party.
I did send word, but no answer was forthcoming. That's interesting. The man is consummately in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's no word for it, I'm sure. Aha! I have it! A bungler! That's the word. Are you sure, Shlomes?
It's a good job he's not here to hear you say that. Those redheads had been up to no good. I wonder what the men did.
The greatest problem.
What was that about the greatest of problems known to man that you mentioned before? Is it another fiendishly intricate case, Mr. Shlomes?
Wasn't it money? How should I best explain it? Are you aware the theory of evolution by natural selection, perchance?
Well, I think I've heard talk of it somewhere. Possibly. It's a revolutionary scientific theory that was newly proposed 40 years ago now. According to its author, Mr. Darwin, we humans were once apes who lived in the treetops.
Not exactly how that works, but well, some of them might have. Some ancestors of humans, but if you're thinking of like modern day apes and monkeys, no. That is not how it worked. Despite what some people might tell you.
Wait, what? We were apes?
Indeed. And from the very moment these apes descended from the canopy to live as humans, it has been our lot to be at the mercy of the greatest problem known to man. Not dying?
Our lot? What is this great problem, Mr. Shlomes?
Why? Is it not obvious, my dear madame? The problem of rent! Oh, it was money.
Ah.
Ryunosuke's not impressed.
But did you not receive a rather large sum of money from Madame Truspel's only the other day?
Tra, a large sum. 1 potted herb for Iris and a new motor car for me later, and all of it has quite disappeared, I assure you. You bought a car? Do you know how to drive even, Shlo?
Honestly, Hurley, you know you squandered it.
Yes, well anyway, 2 days ago, I discovered the answer to man's greatest problem. For the coming month, at least. I get the feeling he could make so much more money if he just focused on, like, one thing. Anyway.
And what was the answer?
Why? There's a substantial clue before your very eyes.
Oh, tell me. Let me see.
Oh, there's a newspaper over the arm of the sofa. Humans are solitary creatures, unable to see what is in front of their noses. I can't help it, I need glasses, Shlomes. Also, excuse me for having wonky vision. I literally can't, well, not clearly, see in front of my nose. I have to hold it, there's like a set distance, like a few inch, I don't know, less than a hand. Well, I guess if you held your hand up so your fingers are pointing up and stuck it at the end of your nose, that's about how far away things clear up, and probably about the same length of where it's not blurry for me. Yes, it's annoying. I need reading glasses. Not really. I don't think so. Those also sound kind of annoying in their own right, but anyway. Rude. Still take offense. I know that's not what I was meaning. I'm mostly being silly.
Let me give you some assistance. Don't look, but observe me very closely. There's one particular feature about my person that has changed. You should notice it in the end, I think. The end? Been stabbing me in both eyes right from the very beginning of our conversation. I think we might need another clue before we uncover the full answer, Mr. Naruhodo. Thanks for the hint. I'll be tearing my hair out of this charade. Okay. Thanks for the hint. I'll be tearing my hair out if this charade goes on much longer. Okay. Oh, we could talk about lying about Kazuma. I want to do that first, then. Mr. Sloanes, isn't it about time you told us the truth? So over a week ago, you said to us... You flashback. Well, I'll tell you something of the first importance, my dear fellow. Great detectives are wont to lie. It will serve you well to remember that. I did remember that. Last stream. Ooh. A case aboard the SS Buria in January. Kazuma wasn't killed, and you knew he wasn't dead at the time. So what was really going on? The fellow was unconscious for a very long time. If he hadn't regained consciousness when he did, his life would have been in mortal peril. Of course, the side effect of the prolonged comatose state was amnesia, as you now know. It was a simple enough task to silence the crew. But how? After they carried him out of the cabin, I assembled them in the lobby area. Then I made them swear to leave him unconscious and have him unladen from the ship in Hong Kong as a murdered corpse. Oh, how horrible. It was necessary to find some material with which to persuade the crewmen to keep their word, of course. But why? Why do it in the first place? I will be at liberty to elaborate in due course. But for the time being, I would like to reassure you. I didn't foresee subsequent events. What events? His disappearance in Hong Kong. Oh! I believe I may have made a gross error of judgment. Mr. Sloanes. I'm just concerned now. Alright, let's go solve this problem. I want to click on the mask. I know this is probably just a red herring kind of thing. You're just here for decoration or whatever, but I'm like, it's the mask! The mask Kazuma wore when he was assigned to Lord Van Zieks as his apprentice. When he cast it aside after the trial the other day, I just sort of picked it up. We ought to give it back to him, I suppose. That was my first thought. Yeah, give it back to him, and it was just thinking of me, like, throwing at his face. Oh, geez. Apparently don't let me get intrusive thoughts. Moving on. But he has his memory back now, doesn't he? And I can't help feeling he might turn around and tell me, coldly, to wear it myself. But isn't he your best friend? He doesn't put up with things, though. Okay, there's this newspaper, which I also realized was new. Oh, there's a spread circle. Oh, you know, it's been nearly an hour of me playing. I should get a drink, because I do kind of need one. Hold on. Give me a moment. Water! Feel free to take a water break yourself. I should probably drink a little more, just because keeping my throat not dry does make it easier to do the voices.
I'm sure some of the streams near the end when I don't drink enough water, that you can definitely tell like my voice is starting to go. It's hard to keep the voices. I really should just like make some tea for myself, but it would go cold in like the intervening. I have a thermos though. Yeah, maybe I should use it. Why am I like this? I forgot to use my other model for Paper Mario, and I only realized like the day after, and I was like, ah, dingus. Anyway, okay. This last week's edition. Okay, so it's an older newspaper, but this looks like last week's edition. What's the article circled in red ink there? It's an advertisement column. It says, "To the Red-Haired League." The Red-Haired League? What's that? I don't know. I've never heard of it before, but... Stares poignantly at Shlo. Is something on my face? Oh, come on, you totally know she's looking a little higher than that. Clearly, this has something to do with that lively hair. We have a newspaper. Wait, we have a newspaper. Can I look at it more? Oh, it's gone. Kazuma's mask is still here. Also, I just realized the eyes are not dark. How did Kazuma make his eyes so dark when he was wearing it? Hold on, let's see. Is there any... Oh, no, it just zooms in. Get 4 pounds, I believe. Yeah, 4 pounds per week if you are a redhead. Most fantastic money-making opportunity. You know, I get a feeling somebody would do this in real life. What are the other articles? You can actually read the other articles on here again. There's a public health report. I won't actually read them. Oh, maybe I should disappear just in case anyone wants to read this later as in the VOD and can just pause it. So here, let me disappear for a few seconds. There we go. That should be long enough to at least give people a chance. Oh, that must say health services down below. Wait, is this on the health page? What? Oh, it's an ad. Ads could be anywhere in the paper. Okay, moving on. Interesting. Okay, let's back out and then... I don't think there's a new conversation. Yeah, so we need to present the newspaper to Shloms. It's this, right? It looks as though someone circled an advertisement in this paper, Mr. Shloms. To the Red-Haired League. Does that strike you in some way? I was thinking that, just maybe, it might be related. To your bright red hair. So, at last you learned to apply my methods, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry. In the first instance, and quite indispensable, observation. Believe me, I could have seen that hair with my eyes shut. So then, allow me to regale you with the details of my latest exploits. He's so excited, look at him. Regale or boast? Red-haired League, what do you have to say for yourself, Shloms? So, what is the Red-haired League? Which seems to be the subject of the advertisement you've circled. You noticed it in the paper, then? That, my dear fellow, was going to be the source of this month's rent payment. It was? How? According to the advertisement, the Red-Haired League is a distinguished institution of fellows of unspecified governance. In fact, the only condition for becoming a member is having red hair. You know, they don't even specify if it's natural or not. You know, naturally red or not. Now I have questions how long hair dye's been a thing. At least, you know, as far as applicable... how to put this? As long as it's relevant to London, because that's where it is now, even though it's Ace Attorney. They're not too concerned with being historically accurate, despite people arguing about which the date is. I'm like, it's 1899. I know it doesn't make sense for everything, because there's a few real-life things they reference, but this is Ace Attorney's world. It's not one for one to Earth. Please stop. You're overthinking. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked.
That doesn't entirely surprise me. Listen to what the lucky redheads receive once they've joined. An unconditional salary of £4 a week. Oh my, £4 a week. Like, why? What are they paying people for?
That I don't know. No details are given in the advertisement.
But surely every redhead person in the country would be flocking to join that case. Flocking to join in that case.
Is somebody who committed a crime that has red hair trying to hide in plain sight or something? I have questions.
You're right, Susie. There's no time to lose. I'll put in my application at once.
She does have pink hair that's technically pastel red.
So will I, just on the off chance. That might be stretching a point, I think. The trouble is, they have a fixed number of members, you see. Oh, I see. So once a certain number of people have joined, no one else can.
But as luck would have it, one member recently passed away.
It wasn't particularly lucky for the redhead in question, I feel, Mr. Sholmes. So you decided to try and join in his place?
Correct. I mean, look at me. Have you ever seen such a red-headed fellow?
No.
So why? Why did it have to go so wrong?
What on earth happened?
A blunder, Mr. Naruhodo. Though it pains me to admit it. Are you sure it's a blunder? Blunder. I need to enunciate better, or else people are going to think I'm saying blender. I am not.
What did you actually do to your hair, Mr. Sholmes?
I'm glad you asked, Miss Susato. What you see atop my head is neither dyed nor a hairpiece. I changed the color of my hair overnight. By the wonders of chemistry.
Chemistry?
I was conducting some research into a method of rejuvenating spent tea leaves. And in the course of my work, I stumbled upon a potion and, when taken, turns one's hair a flame-like red. Would you like to try it? It will make every hair on your body perfectly crimson. A red-haired Naruhodo. I'm kind of curious to see that. And I do have a digital art program where I could functionally do Photoshopping. Should I try that? Should I make Ryunosuke have red hair and like Susato have red hair? Maybe if I have a bit of time. I didn't read that.
That was Ryunosuke.
Oh gosh, I'm making it worse. Okay.
I think I'll pass. But Mr. Sholmes, is it quite safe to drink? Surely it's bad for you, isn't it?
Amateurs are always hampered by such fears.
Oh, I should never have doubted you, Mr. Sholmes. You mean to say...
But of course! To earn £4 per week, one must be prepared to turn a blind eye to a little danger.
That degree of red signals more than just a little danger. Surely. So anyway, weirdly left full of confidence yesterday with his new red hair. For the park on Lime Street, where the Red-Handed League were interviewing prospective new members.
So what went wrong? The whole park was choked with red-headed folk, like a Coister's orange barrow.
I queued for 8 hours solid before at last I reached the front. When the panel of interviewers saw me, they immediately said, "Ah, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, are you disguised to conduct an investigation?" So naturally, I had no choice but to reply, "Shh, don't give me away." After which, I could do little else but turn and leave. Then this morning, when I looked in the mirror, irritation stirred within me. So I turned that pair into the police. Oh dear, what a disaster. For Hurley and those two redheads. You're probably actually in trouble. Oh, it's the phone. Or doorbell, apparently. I guess older doorbells did sound like that. I have heard a couple. Aha! Here is my guest now, my latest client with money to spend. Oh, I do hope it's an exciting case, Hurley. Remember, Iris, we are at present gripped by the greatest problem known to man. Paying rent. And it's partially your fault. You bought a car that I don't even know if you'll need. I must be willing to accept any case, no matter how unstimulating. Save locating a runaway, of course. Don't spare anyone's feelings, will you? Oh dear. I'm afraid that Hurley can lack a little tact. Especially just before the rent is due. Oh. Oh, hi! It's a lady! She's one of the jurors! Mr. Sholmes, Mr. Herlock Sholmes, please, oh please. Please find my husband. He's run away. To upset me? I beg your pardon. Never mind. A personal matter. My apologies. What exactly are you trying to say, Mr. Naruhodo? I didn't say a word. Come, my dear madame. Be seated. Iris, some tea, if you please. Of course. What's up, Susato? What's the matter, Miss Susato? Oh, it's just that gentlewoman. I feel sure I've seen her somewhere before. Very recently. Yeah, 8 days ago in the trial. She's one of the jurors. I guess it's longer for you than it is for me. Yes, now that you come to mention it. That's quite the necklace still. As I explained earlier, my name is Evie Vigil. I implore you to take the case, sir. Money is no object. Simply name your figure. Money and wealth are of little consequence to me, madame. Being offered a case to solve is reward enough. Oh, Mr. Sholmes, you're the picture of benevolence. I will, of course, make a mental note of your offer, however, for contingent reasons. I trust you remember your words also. If I might inquire, sir. This gentleman lady would be... Oh, me. What I'm about to tell you, I should like to communicate in strictest confidence. You understand? Ah, these are my friends. I assure you, you may say before this pair anything which you may say to me. Ah, I see. I can vouch for the gentleman personally, after all. He's hard of hearing. Why did I ever get my hopes up? Sholmes, don't be rude. Hello, madame. Miss Vigil. Mr. Vigil, and your husband's disappearance. Alright. About yourself, Miss Vigil. Forgive me for asking, Miss Vigil. But have we met somewhere before? Quite recently, perhaps. Oh my. Tra! My dear fellow, what is your intention? Clearly, you have no ability to differentiate the facial features of the English. If you wish to invite the lady to tea, you must do so in a more gentlemanly fashion. Is it possible that you're the nice young lawyer from the trial I attended last week? Ah, I knew I recognized her.
Yeah, she's juror number 2. She's right next to the foreman guy right there.
To have a man's fate in the palm of one's hand. Oh gosh, oh golly, it sends shivers down my spine.
She was having fun.
I didn't quite recognize her because she's acting so differently now. It must be very difficult for you as a lawyer. Being hard of hearing, I mean.
Pardon?
Oh dear, I'm so sorry. Don't worry if you can't hear. It was flippantry, really. Nothing more. Now look what you've started, Mr. Schlums. Thank you very much.
Everyone's glaring daggers at everyone today. Apparently. I believe it would be prudent for you to sit quietly in the corner.
Yes.
Mr. Visual.
Tell us about your husband, madame. Mr. Vigil, my Dolly, is 40 years of age. I have a photograph here.
He's got curly hair. You know, actually, they both kind of have curly hair. An entirely unremarkable gentleman, by appearance at least. How long have you been married?
It'll be 15 years this year. We have a cordial relationship, and my husband's income is more than adequate, so we live quite comfortably.
As it would appear, I need only look at you to know these things.
Oh gosh.
I want to know her full design. Her dress is really... I like her dress. Your dress is the latest style. Your head clearly regularly groomed, and your eyes are animated. In short, you have no inkling as to why your husband might have disappeared, correct?
That's right. He's a kind man with a strong sense of loyalty, and he rather dotes on me.
Which would point to the possibility that he has become embroiled in some, incident or other.
Oh! That is exactly what I fear must have happened. Mr. Schlums, I'm quite beside myself. My husband's employment is somewhat unusual, you see. What if he's incurred some miscreant's ill will?
What exactly is your husband's line of work?
He's a warden at the prison. A guard? Is that somewhat unusual?
Prison warder. So, your husband is a prison warder.
That's right, yes. Well, in actual fact, he's the chief warder.
Indeed. I see. Well, chief prisoner warder certainly qualifies as something of a specialist occupation.
Yes, it does indeed. My poor husband must prepare those dreadful punishments and see that they're carried out. Dreadful punishments? Does she mean capital punishments? They did. And at such times, he must occasionally spend a night or two in the prison dormitory. But for that extra responsibility, he's ruminated more handsomely than other warders. Of course, we make no mention of my husband's work to the neighbors.
Yes, I believe your prudence is justified. Tell me, what prison is your husband engaged?
Barclay Prison, Mr. Schlums.
Really? Barclay? Oh, a fine establishment. If I'm not mistaken, there's a large cemetery just behind it.
Yes, that's correct. Lowgate Cemetery.
Nope.
Oh. Lowgate Cemetery. The very place we were discussing in court. That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable, my dear fellow. And yet undeniable.
Sorry, Mr. Schlums. I'm afraid you've lost me.
Ah, pay no heed, madame, pay no heed. A private matter.
This can't really be a coincidence. Can it?
Okay. Your husband's disappearance. Why do you think he's disappeared? Do you have anything else? So, the matter of your husband's disappearance. When did you realize he was missing?
Please try not to laugh. It was yesterday.
I'm sorry? Yesterday?
That really is recent. Laughably so. The truth is, my husband does at times have occasion to spend the night away for his work. But it's not at all out of the ordinary for him not to return home at night. But this is different. For him not to make any contact for a whole day. This has certainly never happened before. Oh, my dear Dally. What can have ever happened?
My dear Miss Vigil, please, calm yourself. Now then, have you contacted the police?
Why, naturally, but sadly, they refuse to listen to my pleas as my husband has only been missing for one day. I was asked to wait patiently at home.
In truth, Miss Vigil, I concur with the police. However, let us not be hasty. I see no reason why we should not engage my deductive powers to track your husband down anyway.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Schlomes.
But furthermore, let me assure you, a chance to solve the greatest problem known to man for another month has no bearing on my decision. I seek only to put a sweet smile on another Londoner's face. That's really all there is to it.
You have my eternal gratitude. I shall pay any sum you care to mention. You seek only to put this sweet's rent in your landlady's purse. That's all there is to it.
I like sassy Ryunosuke. Ooh. That ends this conversation. Thank you for everything you have shared with us, Mrs. Vigil. I believe I have all the information I need to begin my investigation.
Oh, please report to me soon with good news, sir.
Fear not, madame. In a day or two, I shall be contacting you with a heartening report, I'm quite sure.
So soon? Oh, how splendid, Mr. Schlomes.
Good news should be delivered early, I always say. If you would be so kind as to leave the photograph of your husband in my possession. Court record. Thank you. Now, allow me to show you the door.
I can't thank you enough, Mr. Schlomes. You have been simply marvelous.
And off they go.
You know, I think it every time, Hurley. But how do you come out with such nonsense? Good news in a day or two. Are you sure?
I can't be sure, of course. But then I didn't swear on it. I merely gave the good woman some hope. And I hope to be able to give her good news, one might say. After all, the rent must be paid by the end of the day tomorrow. If by that time I've successfully located Mr. Vigil, we shall be mutually relieved. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo?
Don't look at me with those bleeding eyes.
Well, my dear fellow, did you hear the details of the case?
Yes, my hearing is surprisingly good, actually.
Excellent! And what did you make of it?
Well, I was surprised to learn where her husband worked. At Barclay Prison, I mean.
Ah, so you noted that.
Of course, especially with the mention of Locate Cemetery.
Because that's where Genshin was killed. Because he was killed in the grave. Because he didn't actually get capital punishment. He was stuck in a grave, and he came out, and he got shot. We don't know by who.
Locate Cemetery is at the rear of Barclay Prison. So it was renowned among us students at the university for being haunted by the ghost of condemned convicts.
Freber makes an appearance in a flashback. Ooh.
Barclay Prison is where that notorious man was incarcerated. The professor.
Why do you say notorious?
Now, a warder from the prison has mysteriously disappeared, it would seem. It's all very peculiar. Indeed. But nothing you can't handle, I'm quite certain, Mr. Naruhodo. Sorry? Run along to the prison, see what you can glean. Would you? It's the prison governor you want. No doubt the man is equally worried. But are you going to go yourself? Surely you needn't ask. I can't possibly see out with his hair.
Just wear a wig, Shlomes. Oh, I see.
But didn't you go to Lime Street with that hair? That was quite a different matter. So I leave it in your capable hands. Now if you excuse me, I'm rather busy.
Bye, Shlomes. Are you going to be sitting at your desk?
Of course you are.
You're going to be at his desk? No, he's not. Christ, Desir's at hers. She is also not. Alright. Yep, new location. It didn't surprise me for one. Prison governor's office. Okay, that's the new place. Let's go over. I also have to keep in mind that Strongheart is still available to talk to. I don't know why, but we can still talk to him.
Barclay Prison is on the outskirts of London, backing into a lonely burial ground. Its 4 high outer walls loomed quietly before us in the fog. Having requested a meeting, we were shown to the governor's office in the watchtower.
Oh. I forgot about the guillotine grandfather clock. He does not have a pellet. And of course my thoughts go to, like, you could just cut fruit and just, like, slowly move food through there and cut it up. Why is that? Is it just... It's so unnecessary. Anyway. Oh, hi. Ooh, big guy.
This place is full of hardened criminals. I can't even remember the last time a civilian was down here. You do not want to talk to an inmate, but to me? Do you know who I am? I'm the governor, Barley Caden. Oh, yes, it's a pleasure. I'm Ryunosuke Naruhodo, defense lawyer. An Easterner, I see. Does that mean... Yes, I'm a visiting student of law from the Empire of Japan. Japan? Did you say Japan?
Why are you sweating so much?
Yes? Oh, there's no any of your kind in here, laddie. Maybe you should try the prison next door, eh? I didn't notice another prison next door, sir. Anyway, we came to ask you some questions about... I don't like to be so direct, but... I've no intention of speaking with the likes of you, suspicion-looking Easterners. So rude! Now get out of my hair. So, as soon as he finds out that we're from Japan, he reacts like this. It surely means... I think it's because of the professor case. You think so too? Oh, is it the new song?
I think it might be. Or at least we've heard it very rarely.
10 years ago, Ryunosuke, also known as the Professor, was incarcerated at this prison. Then after his execution, he apparently re-emerged from his grave in the cemetery behind the prison. I might have known. You're sniffing around about that case, aren't ya? Your agents, eh? Part of the professor's great web, no doubt. No, not at all. We're just... Get going with ya! Before I punch your lights out! We're going! Clearly, the ghost of that killer still haunts this place. We're not going to get anywhere here. Unless we can somehow prove to this man that there's nothing suspicious about us. Governor Caden. What are you thinking, Miss Susato? I feel sure that name came up in a conversation recently somewhere. I was wondering if whoever mentioned him might have some ideas to help us. Oh, was it Mikotoba? Her dad? I think? That's what I want to say, at least. Come to think of it, I have the same feeling. Okay, bye, mister. The hotel. Go to the hotel. Oh, yep, there he is. Hi! Hi, mister. That's Professor Mikotoba over there. Ah, hello, you two. We're just taking a moment to catch up on the world now that I'm unpacked. Where's Judge Jigoku? Yes, he's not the relaxing sort. He's taken himself off to pay his respects to all the legal bigwigs. Having only just arrived in the country today. Goodness, he's full of energy. Professor, you mentioned something before about how you'd known the prison governor at Barclay Prison. Oh, Governor Caden, you mean? It's the same man. Father, we must speak with the governor. But he refuses to talk to us. He said we were suspicious Easterners. Well, I'm sure if I accompanied you, it would be a very different story. Oh, would you? That would be wonderful. You have time now. Sadly, as you can see, I'm very busy at the moment. Busy drinking coffee in a comfortable city. Now, I have a rather lot to prepare for tomorrow, you know. Oh, sorry. I didn't say that out loud, did I? You Mikotobas are alarmingly good at reading people's thoughts. Or it could be that you Naruhodos are alarmingly bad at hiding your thoughts. It's definitely the latter. Let's not fall out now. I have an idea. Oh, he's writing. What's he writing on that piece of paper? Here's a letter of introduction for you. Hopefully when he sees my name, he'll change his tune. Oh, thank you. Letter of introduction. I want to look at it. Ooh. On. Oh, I'm in the way. Hold on. Oh, it looks like this is some sort of steamship ticket. The SS Grouse, first class cabin, 001. Yokohama departure, 11th September. London arrival, 1st November. Ah, it's the boat that Professor Mikotoba and Judge Jigoku came on from Japan, isn't it? Yes, I think it's called the Dunkirk, on the northern coast of France, for a night, before finally arriving in Dover. I think it's almost been a year since we arrived in Dover on the SS Buria. It seems a shame not to keep your ticket as a memento of your trip, don't you think? Yes, I agree. I've mine safely in my diary. And I keep mine in my wallet, so I have it with me at all times. Oh, but how strange. Where could have it gone? Are you like this on purpose, Mr. Naruhodo? Did I imagine it? Or was that comment accompanied by a little sigh? It was. It was absolutely. Wait, we got well, we have a picture of this dude.
It doesn't look like you can really ascertain much from it. Besides, like, if you want to zoom in on the eye or something. Unless you want to goof around. Good luck then. Bye, Mikotowa. Okay, back to the prison. Oop. That's not how you do it. I have to... Come on. There we go. Back to the office. Back to the guillotine. Grandfather clock, of all things. Here we go. If you just cast your eyes over this, Governor Caden. What's this then? You cannot pull the wool over my eyes, you good-for-nothing Japanese student. Mikotoba. That young jock from the forensic laboratory. That Mikotoba. Yes, exactly him. Oh dear, perhaps I should have said something sooner. I'm Yujin Mikotoba's daughter, Susato. Jins! And you're the young man's daughter. And you didn't think to mention that afore. I do apologize. Aye, well, you best take a seat then. I can offer you a cup of tea, perhaps. And don't forget to try one of these wee handcuff biscuits. Can I have one? Also, where did he get biscuits as in cookies for us American people in America? He's got cookies in the shape of... Who makes those for him? I have questions. Your father's influence is nothing short of amazing. I'm bitterly regretting not announcing who I was from the outset now. So then, what can I do for you then? Well, we're currently investigating a case. It's one of your warders, you see. He's gone missing. Missing? That's right. It's surely been reported to you as well, being the prison governor. Hmm? I haven't heard nothing of the sort. There's no missing persons in my prison. Oh! But how could that be? It's Mr. Dale Vigil, your chief warder. Wait, I read that wrong. It's Mr. Dale Vigil, your chief warder. Vigil. That's right. His wife came to us and asked us to investigate his disappearance. Let's skip the part about him only going missing yesterday for now. Who? Clearly that means something to him. Would you be so kind as to tell us what you know, sir? Aye, of course. Alright, finally gonna talk to him. Chief Warder Vigil. I understand that Mr. Vigil is the chief warder here at the prison. Aye, that he was. Strong sense of responsibility and dedicated to the job. No doubt about it. He was a fine warder. Sorry, did you say... was? Aye. He don't work here no more. He left the job. Oh my. When was this exactly? There's a question. When was it about? I cannot have been much less than... 10 years ago now. What? 10 years ago? You stopped working here 10 years ago. Aye. As I mind it. Do you ken? I haven't heard the fellow's name in all that time. I'd worry if he's gone missing, though. But Mrs. Vigil had made no mention of it. I think perhaps, Mr. Naruhodo, that his wife simply doesn't know. I think she's unaware that he no longer works here. It was 10 years ago, just like with the professor incident. I guess they're related, I guess. I need to get another drink of water. Give me a moment. Por favor. Okay. That's better. Yeah, it makes it easier to do the voices. Put that down.
Governor Gaydon, can you tell us what happened? Why did Mr. Visual give up his job here?
That's important, is it? Well, we're trying to track him down, so yeah.
Yes, I believe it may be. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? Can't help but wondering, given that it was 10 years ago.
Ah!
Which was exactly when the professor was being held at this prison.
10 years ago. Get up. Dig up the past.
So, Mr. Visual actually resigned from the position of Chief Warder 10 years ago, you're telling us? What happened to make him leave the job?
Ooh, are you gonna talk?
In actual fact, he didn't leave the job willingly. He had no choice in the matter. You mean he was dismissed?
Yep, he turned around.
It was after a particular walk. Sorry, a walk?
Aye, that's our word for it here. A walk to the gallows.
An execution.
It's a job of the Chief Warder to prepare the gallows tree and oversee any executions, you see. Only, Vigil did something unthinkable on that last walk he was manning.
What did he do?
Sorry, but I cannot reveal that information. But I can tell you it's very rare for a Chief Warder to be relieved of his post.
But why wouldn't Mrs. Visual know about it? She appears to be under the impression that her husband still works here.
A woman can know anything about that, I'm afraid. I don't know if I'm reading this correctly. Accents. They are fun but hard to read sometimes when you're not the one with the accent. Or that particular accent, I should say more correctly.
Can you perhaps answer one more question about the circumstances of his dismissal?
And what would that be, Hen?
That last execution that Mr. Visual was responsible for overseeing. Was it by any chance the professor's?
My thoughts exactly. You got an answer? I'm sorry. I really am. But I'm not at liberty to answer that.
I see.
Probably a yes then. Okay, Professor Mikotoba.
My father came to Britain all those years ago in order to study forensic medicine. But you seem to have been well acquainted.
The dead room, the prison, and the cemetery have a lot to do with one another. After all, they need fresh corpses for forensic research. Do you kin?
Yes, I can imagine. The advancement of medical science, it isn't always particularly palatable.
Nope. Our father worked in the laboratory just on the far side of the graveyard. In the basement of St. Sinner's. It's still in use today.
St. Sinner's? That's come up before, I'm sure.
Oh, did Shlums get checked in there? I'm pretty sure Olive Green was in there. Ooh. Yeah, I think Shlums was there too. Anyway.
Yes, that's right. We've been there.
Mikotoba and I half used to ride in a carriage together and negotiate terms.
For more fresh material, I suppose.
Aye. And we used to sit in here for hours and gab on about dissections and all sorts. Ugh. Takes me back. We bought tea and a plate of cuffed biscuits, of course.
How charming.
Are those shortbread? Because if it's shortbread, I really would want to have some of those. I really like shortbread.
is a good fella, your father, reliable and dead set on his work. I'm afraid I'll never understand you Japanese. Because of Genshin no Sogi, I suppose. Oop, gotta fade to black, so that's the end of this conversation. Well, I cannot tell you anything else. Thank you so much for your time, Governor. Oh, one moment before you're away ahead. Oh, he went to get something. I'm sure I have it here somewhere. Bird. Ah, found it. Here, take this as a wee souvenir of your visit to the prison. What is it? That's Visual's dismissal note. Oh, wait. Visual's dismissal notice. It's 10 years old now, of course. Oh my. Are you sure? Aye. It's no trouble at all. It's not the original mine. Visual's dismissal notice is now a court record item. Woo! Okay, I want to look at that. Oh wait, what does it say on it, first off? The harsh reprimand incurred by Mr. Visual 10 years ago that resulted in him losing his job as chief warder of Barclay Prison. Notice this dismissal. 25th June. Chief warder Dale Visual is relieved of his post with immediate effect for having violated Clause 132 of Her Majesty's Code of Conduct for Prisons. Yeah, this prisons. Like, not prisoner or anything. All rights to redundancy pay and other financial benefits are fully revoked. So he's not getting any money since he's worked here. How is he getting money for his wife? Where is he? Now I'm curious. Reasons for dismissal. Aiding and abetting the escape from this prison of convict. Blank. Probably Genshin no Sogi? Just prior to his execution. Details of this escape are being investigated. Full cooperation with inquiries will be expected. Prisoner governed Barry Caden. Barricaded in. Barry Caden. He's not named after a Sherlock character. As in the Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, not Herlock Sholmes, which it may reference Sir Arthur Conan Doyle's stories, but it really, Herlock really is like Herlock from Marcel Leblanc's stories with Arsène Lupin. Anyway, there's one more page. Additional notes. Indications are that the jailbreak plot was conceived prior to the convict's incarceration. It's believed the convict engaged in some form of negotiation with prison staff in order to secure assistance. Full disclosure of information regarding these negotiations will be determined. Huh. These are a lot of little tidbits here. Okay. Ooh. Oh my god. Thank you very much, Governor Caden. In return... Turn around, yeah. Do me a favor and never come back here. That case is closed. Why do you look at the feeling we're coming back here? Well, I think we ought to return to Baker Street for the time being. Yes, I agree. We need to report back to Mr. Sholmes with what we found out about Mr. Visual. But will he tell Mrs. Visual, I wonder? Sholmes is sweet. We're moving quite a pace. 1st November, Sholmes is sweet. We're back! Hello, you two! I knew it was Iris. I thought you'd be back before long, so I baked some scones for us all. Can I have some?
Shlomes? Why do you look like a Fire Emblem character? What was I trying to say? No, it's Ryunosuke was trying to say. Ah, so that's what the delicious smell is. Greetings, my dear fellows. You've returned a good deal sooner than I was anticipating. We are trucking through this even faster than I was thinking.
Hello, Mr. Shlomes.
Why is... We have red-haired Shlomes and blue-haired Shlomes now. I feel like there's some AU or something you could do with all these hair change colors or something. Some zany AU fantasy story. Moving on, though.
Too many yawns. Hello, Mr. Shlomes.
Say nothing. Your thoughts are written all over your faces in any case. It turns out that it may have been advisable to test my hair color restoration tonic before application.
Oh, my.
Pray, tell me, what of our warden friend? Have you garnered some new information?
Oh, yes. Something very surprising, in fact. Though it's not a patch on your hair, to be honest.
It most certainly isn't. But still, we discovered that... Okay, somebody all-cap Shlomes. I don't know who this... Oh, it's Gina. Hi, Gina. Drop everything, Shlomes. This is more important.
Gina?
I can't Adam and Eve it. Oh, she's crying. And at least I'm assuming that's what the sniffing is about.
What's happened?
Clearly a very grave matter indeed. For Miss Lestrade made no mention of my hair whatsoever. You know, in most cases, I would be like, Shlum's why, but in this case, he has a point.
It's the boss. What do you mean? Inspector Gregson?
Oh, she's crying.
The boss is... he's dead.
Oh.
What?
They just found his body. Shot with a pistol. What?
But...
Inspector Gregson?
He was murdered? No, not Gregsley.
Come in, my dear girl. Tell us the whole story. Oh, she's crying again. I mean, I don't blame her. Also, yeah, I played the game before. I'm kind of non-fussed about this. I was really surprised the first time, but this time I'm like, yeah, you kicked the fucking... I want to be clear, since we had a fake out with Kazuma, no, Gregson's dead. He is just flat out dead. And I tried looking it up before because I'm like, I know he's named after an actual, you know, he's a Sir Arthur Conan Doyle character from one of Sherlock's stories. And I tried looking it up, and I don't know if the actual namesake character dies or not. I couldn't find anything, but that doesn't mean that, you know, that he actually does. As far as I know, he doesn't die. So this is, like, really surprising. But yeah, he is dead. I will say, Gregson is just dead now. Which is really weird in an Ace Attorney game, I will tell you that. I was like, okay, usually you get introduced to a character and then they like die almost immediately after you meet them. They're not in entire game in cases and you don't talk to them. This was really weirding me out. I think I was more shocked that it actually happened rather than he was actually dead, and then I was just like, are we gonna get another fake out? No, he's actually dead. I think I was shocked about it later once it sunk in. I was like, what? But yeah, okay. What does Gina have to say? Or she's just gonna cry. Okay, no, we gotta talk to her. The inspector's death.
Are you serious, Gina? Inspector Gregson was... he was really shot. I don't know much about what happened myself yet. You're still there, investigating the scene. Where did this take place? A little rented room in a building full of flats on Fresno Street. The outskirts of town. Nowhere near his home.
Schlums is very serious.
He was perhaps investigating a case then. The thing is, no one at the yard knows nothing about no case around there. Oh, how strange. Boss he was so good to me. I know I ain't up to much yet, but one day I was gonna show him. I was gonna show him that I'd become a proper detective. Oh, Ginny.
She's just spent the whole time crying. I forgot about this. Regina.
So, who did this? Do you have any idea who the culprit is? I got him already. Already? They caught the shooter so soon. A witness reported something was going on, and the boys got straight down there and took care of him. Who? What other person did this? Who? I still can't believe it myself. Gina? It was the Reaper.
Like, Barack Van Zeeks?
Wait a minute. You don't mean they've arrested Lord Van Zeeks for it? That's right. The Reaper bloke's gone and shot the boss. No. Lord Van Zeeks?
It's playing this theme. Sorry, it's playing this theme song now. I mean, it's fitting, but I don't know why I'm finding it funny now, but I am.
Lord Van Zeeks. Are you quite sure, Miss Lestrade? It's Barack Van Zeeks the police have arrested. I saw him with my own eyes in an interview room at the yard. I don't believe it. But there were witnesses, and they've all saying it was him. So you mean there were actually multiple witnesses? They heard the gunshot, apparently. And when our lot got to the scene, there was only the boss and that Reaper bloke in the room. But there's no way Lord Van Zeeks would have taken Gregson's life. I just don't believe it. I don't believe it either.
Yeah, I mean, it seems a little far-fetched. Can somebody give the poor girl a hug?
Thank you for informing us, Miss Lestrade. This really is most terrible news. I'm dreadfully sorry. What are you sorry for? You didn't do nothing.
Well, Sean might have known something. You know this is all tied up into one giant case. Did I not mention that this episode and the next episode are tied together? It's broken up to two parts, but it's functionally the same case, I think. The info online is a little... Yeah, but I also don't remember that much. There are times where I'm like, I genuinely don't remember. I never lie about that. I may play dumb, but if I actually say I don't remember, I do not remember. It's a dumb thing to lie about anyway. I'm like, I'll just play dumb. Why do I need to point out that, hey, I don't remember? I'm like, no, that's stupid. If I don't remember, I don't remember.
Well, anyway, I'm taking a cab over to the scene right now. Please come and all, as soon as you can. You gotta help.
Oh, poor Gina. Are you okay, Shlums?
The detective's lot to appear whenever some sinister plot has unfolded. Little wonder we all look haggard. Sometimes, these things are almost too much for the nerves. Mr. Shlums.
Yeah, because he's known Gregson for a while.
What use is there in being a great detective if I fail to see something like this coming, How could I let this happen to Gregson? Gregson!
Oh, he's very upset.
Mr. Naruhodo! I shall leave at once to begin my investigations. Of course, yes. We will do. It would be helpful if you could talk to Mr. Reaper and see what you can glean. I'm sure you were intending to do so anyway. Until later, then. I just want to point out, this man did not want to leave the house because his hair was dyed a weird color, but now he's just like, drops everything, I'm leaving. He really is not happy about this. Inspector Gregson dead. Lord Van Zeek's arrested. Bruno! Susie! I called you a handsome. It's waiting outside. That's a type of carriage. Not like a pretty guy. Just please look it up on your own. You'll have images more than I can pull up. Thanks, Iris. Shall we, Miss Susato? Yes! Should I end it here? I'm gonna be yawning though. I am a bit sleepy today. I mean, as much as it's probably gonna be driving people batty, I probably should end it here. for the first thing. I was expecting to get this far, to be honest. I wasn't expecting to get that far at all. I thought it would take longer to get through all that. Oop. Okay, come on, work with me. There we go. Sometimes buttons do not be buttoning. Oh, jeez. I'm gonna leave you guys on a cliffhanger. Honestly, it's gonna be on a cliffhanger for a while yet. Even if I did play a bit more, I don't think there's gonna be... Given the look of it, I think it's just there's a large forecast of cliffhanger moments from here for a bit in the investigation, so... I honestly don't think I could stop at any better point. Oh, jeez. Oh, but yeah, hey, welcome to episode 9! We gotta defend Van Zeeks, because obviously he didn't do it. I mean, come on, the man is many things, but I think the only thing that's in danger around Van Zeeks is his wine goblets and the bottles of wine he brings with him. Otherwise, I think you're fine. I'm not forgetting how much he breaks, though, seriously. How much glass do they have to sweep out of the courtroom? Also, somebody totally got beamed in by a bottle one time. I'd be really surprised if that didn't happen. Silly moments with oh my gosh moments. Yeah, that's gonna be these next 2 episodes. Just a lot, and then just silly Ace Attorney normal shenanigans. Gotta have that levity to even out the pathos, as a certain lavender hair man likes to say. That's not an Ace Attorney reference, that's a Final Fantasy XIV reference to anyone who's trying to desperately calculate which Ace Attorney game that phrase is from. You won't succeed. Anyway, I'm still sorry I'm leaving on a hit cliffhanger, but like I was saying, it's gonna be pretty cliffhanger-y no matter how much I play until we get, I guess that's certain, but unless it says I think even some of the to be continued ones are probably pretty cliffhanger-y at this point. It's just gonna be like that. There isn't much I can do about it. It's the nature of the beast right now. But hopefully you would still enjoy this episode. And yeah, we're down a character! Yay! I don't know what to say about it, but yeah, I got further in. I thought we would get... Oh geez. I thought we would talk to the... Like, maybe we could get to the prison, talking to the prison guy, and that'd be the furthest we got in, but we got a little ways past that. Like, just meeting him, not even getting him to talk. I was wrong about how long it would take. Oh well, I'm usually it's the other way around. I think we'll get further than we actually do. So, pleasant surprise this time around, at least on my end. But yeah, I will be... Our next Great Ace Attorney stream will be Monday, as usual, and probably the night one after that will be Friday. Unless I feel like having something else be on Friday, but I will still schedule 2 streams next week, but Monday's probably not changing.
So don't you worry, we will get back to the Great Ace Attorney soon enough. But we have one left. We have one stream left this week, and that is Spectrobe's Origins. Because I want to get to the Ice Temple, because they have the Rise of Fossils there, and I looked it up, so I know this for a fact, and I've been very much looking forward to it, because I want my big blue cat. Because I'm a cat lady. Despite having my mascots be me, so you think I would have chosen cats, but I went no. My name is Leona. I don't want to have cats as a mascot. Even though it would make sense, because, you know, Leo was like, oh, you have little lion cubs. And I was like, no. For some reason, that just seemed... I don't think a word's not coming to mind, but it was just a no. That's the important bit. Anyway. Hopefully we can look forward to either the Great Ace Attorney stream on next week on Monday, or maybe you have heard of the Monster Tamer sci-fi game that is Spectrobe's Origins, and you can look forward to that. I mean, we're a bit of ways in. And I've never streamed Spectrobes on Twitch, so if you're a Twitch viewer, if you want to see what Spectrobes is about, please check the VODs on YouTube. All my VODs are there. I do keep them all there, because I dual cast, so I don't have to do anything. They'll just immediately be there. You could finish watching the live stream on Twitch and immediately go see the, you know, once I actually end it. It will immediately be up on YouTube, unless YouTube is, like, taking a few extra seconds to load everything and stuff, which that is out of my control. That's on YouTube people's side, not me, so don't hassle me about it. I will just look at you and just be like, delete comment, because I'm like, there's no point in arguing that. I mean, really, I'm like, what do you want me to... I'm not a magician. Well, not a magic user. I cannot magic that into existence. I don't even know how I would go about that, to be honest. Anyway, point being, I got VODs all on my YouTube. You can check to see a whole other playthroughs and everything about that. See if you want, I don't know, stick around. Maybe subscribe if you're on YouTube, or, what is it? Follow on Twitch. And I would appreciate if you do anything else, you know, like liking things, maybe leaving a comment. I mean, you don't have to. I don't know. Just be like, hey, you showed up and now you're obligated to freaking subscribe or follow. I'm like, no. You should do that if you want to be here, because that's the kind of audience I am trying to build. People who want to be here and have a good time of just seeing all sorts of games. Like, maybe even some of them that they've never even heard of, because they're not talked about, and they're older games, because I have been enjoying playing some of the older games. Maybe I should play some new ones. I need to go check which games I have again. But we'll see about next week or in the coming days. In any case, that is it for this stream, and almost for the week. We got one stream left. But for now, I must bid you all farewell with fun bye-byes, and I hope to see you another time.